So about a month ago, I made this video talking about some of the key features of the Microsoft key, which is called SwiftKey. And one of the reasons why I said I will not be switching to this keyboard is because of an issue it has with spaces, like when it comes to handling spaces. So for example, let's say I type, "How are you?" Okay, so I've typed out "How are you?" and then I enter the question mark. You can see that there's a space between the U and the question mark. So this is something that I hated, and that's the reason why I stopped using the Microsoft keyboard. But then I received this message saying that the space between the last word and the question mark disappears if you tap the space bar. So I put that to the test, and let's just delete this and start over. So okay, so I've typed out the "How are you?" If I enter a space, you can see that the space between the U and the question mark still remains. There's a space over here. So it got me thinking that I don't think anyone will leave a comment like that unless it has worked for them. So I decided to go through some of the settings. And if you go into typing, you can see that I have this option turned off, this one, AutoSpace. So this is the reason why that happens. But I will tell you why I normally turn this one off. But if I turn it on now, and then I try typing "How are you?" again, the keyboard by now will be thinking why I'm asking "How are you?" so many times. Anyways, "How are you?" and then I enter the question mark. You see now that there is no space between the U and the question mark, which is good. So you may be wondering, well, if that's the case, I should just leave this AutoSpace turned on or enabled. Here's the reason why I don't like leaving it enabled. So for example, let's say you're trying to type out a website. I believe you're watching this video on YouTube. So let's say I wanted to type youtube.com. So if I type YouTube and then I tap the dot, you can see there's a space between the dot and, well, I haven't even entered the com. So yeah, there's a space between the dot and the com. Let's see a website with a net.net. I don't know any websites that ends with .net, but let's just say google.net. Google.net. You see there's a space between the dot and the net. This is the only example I can think about, but I've had this AutoSpace turned off on all the keyboards that I've used because of problems like this. Sometimes it's emails, sometimes it's websites. It just keeps giving you that space whenever you tap the dot. It doesn't work with numbers. Like for example, if I want to say 15.5, if I type 15 and I put the dot, you see there's no space. Let's say 15.5, like I wanted to. So you can see there's no space. So it only works with words. I don't know why, but yeah, this is the reason why I don't enable AutoSpace. Even on Gboard, it's the same for me. I don't enable AutoSpace. I'd rather manually enter the space after a full stop, which is a period, or a comma. Overall, if you really want to use the Microsoft key, which is SwiftKey, then I would recommend you just enable this. But that is if that issue that I talked about in the initial video is what is stopping you from using the keyboard. But if it's not, then, well, I hope you enjoy it. I'll leave a link to the video so you can watch it as well. All right, take care and bye-bye.